Now with Amy Karam, business consultant, thought leader in the area of international trade. I think it's fair to say that the rules of the game have changed, and how we respond to the new order, that's also changed. So Amy, I know you've got years of experience in the field. Can you set the context a bit? What's the environment today in terms of international trade? Share your views.
Thanks, John. Well, essentially, the West has had a position of luxury in that they had a position of economic strength and prosperity over the last few decades. Now, this concentration of power and influence has allowed them to essentially direct the way the global economy was to operate. They set the rules of engagement. And we did such a good job at cooperating and partnering and helping emerging countries or developing nations that they've grown, and they're doing exceptionally well. So their economic power has also increased. And what this causes is a power shift. So the West no longer has that dominant influence that they were so used to in the past. And now that we've got new players like China and India and even Brazil, right, and beyond the BRICS, there's a new world order. And we have to change, we the West, need to change the way we approach things, the way we approach global business and international trade. And so because of this shift, we just need to start doing things differently.
Well, you know, CATA is very involved with the Lazaridis School that's training next generation CEOs. So I want to put you in the classroom giving guidance to these next generation CEOs. What guidance would you provide them in order to be successful in this new global order?
Great question, and thank you for setting that up, because I do that, in fact. So I think the first thing is we need to start taking a longer term view. Emerging markets can no longer be ignored, not only as new competitors, but as addressable markets for our exports and for our growth. And so emerging markets requires a longer term view and a longer term commitment. Fortunately or unfortunately, a lot of Western companies are beholden to the stock market, right, to Wall Street, and to quarterly reviews and quarterly expectations. But we need to expand beyond that. We need to take a strategic long-term view. Second is we have to get out of our superiority attitude and strategy. Emerging markets, for example, they don't necessarily care to have the top brands. What's more important to them is the functionality. Will it work? Will it serve their purpose? And more so, we need to get into a solutions approach, right? A whole encompassing business approach. Are we helping them attain financing? Are we helping them in actually executing or implementing these solutions? And this comes back to our longer term view. Are we local? Are we going to be present? And relationships are so much more important to emerging markets customers than product superiority. So that has been our advantage in the past, and we have to balance it out with other success factors in business. And the other key element for us to succeed is to start incorporating politics in business. And I don't mean it in a negative way or in the perceived derogatory angles of politics, but politics have become very important, especially with these new emerging players and nations that have come up onto the scene. They are using their political influence, government to government influencing, to execute on business decisions. And we need to figure out what are we going to do in that realm as well? How are our governments going to help us close international business a little bit better, but within our own boundaries and ethical values? And then if I might just put in one more element, I think partnerships are key, but they need to be approached with caution. As we expand abroad, they have different rules, they have different restrictions, and we need to be able to partner with folks on the other side in order to make that market penetration strategy all the more successful. But at the same time, protect our intellectual property, protect our knowledge, and not necessarily go overboard on the transfer of that.
Excellent guidance, Amy. I wonder if you have additional thoughts on innovation success. What's the key here? What's your insight?
John, the West, particularly Canada and the US, have been known for their ability to innovate. In fact, they've set the standard on innovation worldwide, and nations have looked towards the US, Canada, and other Western countries to learn from them, to learn how to innovate. China is sending delegations of professionals and students in droves to Silicon Valley to learn how to be the next innovation center. And what we need to do is protect what I call this innovation advantage. We are known for being innovative. That really has set us on top. And we need to start becoming innovative at innovation. We need to start looking at different models. We need to start learning from these new competitors or these new and emerging nations who are starting to do things differently and creating their own business models and their own innovation models. So I think the next level for Canada and for the US and for other Western countries is to step up their status of being the best and seek a way to become better. How do we stay ahead of the curve? How do we maintain and grow our current innovation advantage so we continue to be the leaders in this area?